Hi, I'm Lindsey, the Customer Support Manager for Paddle North, meaning if you have called, emailed, or sent a web chat to us, you've probably talked to me. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to keep your inflatable paddleboard as good as new. Tip number 1, check your valves. Your paddleboard is going to have two different valves, a pressure regulator valve and your inflation valve. On the paddleboard's journey to you, it will have possibly loosened up, and it's a good idea to check and make sure that they're nice and tight before you take it out and inflate it. In the repair kit with your paddleboard, you have one of these plastic valve wrenches. What you can do is open the cap to your inflation valve, pop your wrench onto the valve, and turn it very gently clockwise until it's snug. You don't need to over-tighten it. Do the same with your pressure regulator valve. If you want to check and make sure that it's nice and tight, spray that valve with some soapy water. Just soap and water works great. And if there's no bubbling, then you've done the job. It's always a good idea to check on that maybe once a year, usually the start of the season, just to make sure that they've held up well over the off season. Tip number 2 is storage. When you're not using your board, it's a good idea to let it avoid direct contact with the sun for extended periods of time. If you store it in a cool, dry place, the board is going to be like new for longer. Tip number 3. Our inflatable boards are safe for use in both freshwater and saltwater. After use, be sure to give it a rinse and let it dry completely before rolling it up or putting away to store. Tip 4, winter storage. If you're storing the boards over the winter in below freezing temperatures for an extended period of time, we recommend keeping the board unrolled, partially inflated at a lower pressure, around 6 psi is good, or loosely roll it without any folds or creases in the material. Otherwise, you can keep it rolled up in its bag at room temperature for the winter season. Our goal is to keep you on the water for years to come. So following these tips will help preserve the safety and longevity of your board.